Coverage of the 2018 Commonwealth Games. Brought to you by Manx Radio and Manx Telecom.
From mandate to good day, mate. Good morning to you if you're listening in the Isle of Man. I'll say hello to you if you're listening from further afield. Welcome to Today at the Games with myself, Chris Cave, and Joe Pack, who is also here at the Media Hub in Broadbeach on Australia's Gold Coast. We'll be bringing you all the latest from the Manx athletes. All 32 of them are competing in the Commonwealth Games over the next 9 days or so. And a bit of breaking news to begin with this morning. I'll hand you over to Joe Pack.
We certainly have. Good eye. I don't actually know, I really can't do that accent very well. But yes, Matthew Draper was the first cyclist to compete at the Games today. And just now, literally just now, I've received the news that he finished in a time of 4:38, which is a 9-second PB for Matt in the 4,000 metre individual pursuit. How good is that, Chris, to start the show with a PB?
It's absolutely fantastic, and it builds on the already successful stories, I think you would call them, for the Manx athletes so far at the Commonwealth Games. And I'm talking mainly, in terms of success, of those athletes who have taken to the pool, because 4 of our female swimmers were in action yesterday. We had Laura Kinley starting us off, followed by Steph Brew making her Commonwealth Games debut, and then of course Niamh Robinson. Only Laura Kinley qualified for the women's 50-metre breaststroke. Unfortunately, she couldn't quite seal a place in the final, but last night's success story was all about Charlotte Atkinson, and she was competing in the women's 100-metre butterfly semi-finals. That's where we left you at the programme yesterday. And, well, she just goes from strength to strength, doesn't she? She swam a time of 58.04 seconds. It's a new Manx record, not that she knew that. Well, Joe spoke to her after she got out the pool.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I just tried to stay relaxed throughout, just taking each step as it goes, really, the heat, the semi, now the final. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with it.
You're into the finals at the Commonwealth Games. I mean, that for yourself must have been a target.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't make a final in Glasgow, so to make a final here is, a step further than what I did last time. So yeah, I'm really excited.
And you just said to me, for your timing is 58.04. You just swam, and your PB is 58.02. Yeah. So not quite, but doesn't matter. You're through to the final.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much on my PB, which I'm happy about because it's a pretty new PB. Another 58 is always great. So yeah, see what we can do tomorrow.
And what you're going to take from it to go into the final?
I think just stay relaxed. I think I've got the experience now to not let the crowd affect me, not let the other girls affect me. So yeah, I'm really excited. Just want to stay relaxed for tomorrow and see what happens.
What is it like when you hear that noise as you're walking through, Charlotte?
I think I've learned just to block it out, get used to it. It doesn't really affect me anymore. So yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in the final. Congratulations. Thank you, Charlotte. Well done.
So there you have it, the Isle of Man's first shot at a medal at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. We hope you're all as excited as we are here back home in the Isle of Man. And as I said, she didn't even know that she had broken a Manx record, a time of 58.04 seconds. But also in action was Laura Kinley in the women's 50-metre breaststroke. And I'll hand you back over to Joe.
Yeah, speaking to Charlotte, that was quite amusing, the fact that I did an interview with her. Didn't even realise at the time it was a Manx record until afterwards. But as Lee Holland said in his own words, that apparently she's a bit of a fairy. Laura put in a superb effort, and as Chris said earlier, she didn't quite qualify for the final, but it didn't matter. She was in the semi-final of the 50-metre breaststroke, and this is her reaction after the event.
I'm really pleased with that swim. I just wanted to go out there and enjoy it. It's not often you get to race in front of a crowd this big, so yeah, I did really enjoy it.
Laura, there's over 10,000 people in this venue. What does it sound like when you're walking out to that?
You can't really explain it unless you're there, in that position. But yeah, I just tried to block it out a little bit. Just tried to relax and then swim the race I normally swim.
And how did the swim go, do you think?
I'm pleased with the swim. It was slightly off the time I did this morning, just 0.1 off, but it's the fastest I've been in the last few years. So yeah, I'm really pleased with both my swims today.
How proud did you feel of yourself just to be here in the semi-finals in itself?
Yeah, it's so proud to. I'm always so proud to represent the Isle of Man, especially to walk out I saw all these Manx flags waving in the crowd, and I heard.
And what about your sister? Did you hear your sister?
Yeah, I heard my sister and all my teammates as well on the side, and Lee, my coach. Yeah, so it was just great.
So what's next?
So I've got a couple of days off now, and then I'm racing in the 100 breaststroke on Sunday, and then the medley relay on Tuesday next week.
Just going to catch up on a little bit more of your tan, no doubt, too, then.
Yeah, maybe, if the weather stays like this, yeah.
Congratulations, Laura. We think you've done phenomenally well, so well done.
Thank you very much.
And there's a very good reason why I am asking them both about how they feel about this walking into the Sound, because they are swimming in front of 10,000 people, and it's an incredible stadium. Well, just make sure that you do keep up to date with all that's going on out here in Australia on Facebook, Twitter, and of course Manx Portal too.
So we've had 2 days of Commonwealth Games action here on Australia's Gold Coast, and 2 Manx records have been broken, both of them coming in the pool. The first happened last night with Charlotte Atkinson swimming the women's 100-metre butterfly in a time of 58.04 seconds. That was a Manx record. She didn't even know it was, and that time was enough to secure her a place in this evening's final. Which takes place later today around midday local time in the Isle of Man. We will bring you those updates as we get them. And a second record fell today. Guy Davis in the 100-metre breaststroke. The record had been set in Glasgow 4 years ago when Guy Davis made his Commonwealth Games debut, where it was 1 minute 5.95 seconds. And today, Guy Davis broke that record with a time of 1 minute 4.88 seconds, and that booked him a spot in the men's 100-metre breaststroke finals. They take place from 11:30 Greenwich Mean Time. So if you want to keep track of that, that is how to do so. We will try and bring you the developments as we get them, and hopefully speak to Guy as soon as he leaves the pool. But so far so good for the swimmers. I think they've all been enjoying their Gold Coast experience. Stephanie Brew, I spoke to her yesterday, and she was clearly very, very proud to make her debut. 4 years of hard work, and well, it all came out in motion as she finished her heat 2 in the women's 50-metre breaststroke. Unfortunately, her time of 33.71 seconds wasn't enough for her to qualify, but still a proud moment for Steph Brew, her friends and family.
Just looking ahead now at what's been happening today out here on the Gold Coast. Nicole Burns has been in action, our Isle of Man gymnast. She was breathtaking to watch this morning in the Coomera Indoor Sports Centre here on the Gold Coast. I caught up with Nicole straight after she had finished, and this is what she had to say.
I was so nervous. Breakfast was quite hard because everyone was saying like, oh, good luck, hope you do well and all this. I'll be watching it on the TV, and just my social media was going mad, and it was just crazy, really.
Yesterday there's a little bit of a concern, wasn't there? Just tell me about that.
Yeah, so it sounds really pathetic, but I stubbed my toe on the bar like really hard, and I had to go get an x-ray because we thought it might be broken, but it wasn't, so it's fine. It's all good. A bit sore today.
What was the worries like when you had that feeling? I mean, you just thought, oh.
It was pretty like it made me really nervous because I was thinking, oh my god, I can't do floor, I won't be able to run, like what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, it's a toe. Like if it was something bigger, I'd be more concerned, but I've hurt quite a lot of my toes. I just normally get on with it.
So let's look over your performance then. Rotation 1 bars 10.6, beam 11.9, floor 10.8375, vault 12.250 with the overall score of 45.125. You wanted to get over 45, you've done it. How are you feeling about that score?
I'm happy with it. I felt I could have done better, but you always feel like that after a competition. But I am happy with my performance, and I really enjoyed it, so that's the main thing.
Which do you feel was your strongest performance?
Definitely beam, because I've been working so hard on it on the last couple of weeks, and I actually enjoyed beam for a change, and I wasn't a nervous wreck.
What about the reaction from the crowd when you first got yourself onto the beam? I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah, when I did my mount, which is a split mount onto the beam, the crowd kind of went, oh, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, what are they yelling at? What, have I got something on my head? What, like, what's wrong?
It was just before, because it was absolutely outstanding. When you came off, obviously, at each event that you know, each discipline, you came off and you went to the Malaysia team who you are competing against, and you hugged. You know, that's fantastic that you're able to have that level of competition and be so friendly and familiar with each other, isn't it?
Yeah, I met the Malaysians at the last games and they're so friendly, like we're all dead supportive of each other. We've been training together over the last couple of weeks and we've just kind of formed like a really good bond, and because me and the Singapore girl, Colette, we were on our own, and it's really nice of the Malaysians to kind of invite us into their team, and it was really good.
Normally you do get the support, of course, from Manx Gymnastics, and I found when you go into Scotland, for instance, and everybody's egging you on at the side, it was nice to hear that you had that from the Malaysians.
Yeah, definitely, especially in a big arena like this, you can't always hear people, but when you know you've just got those girls by the side, it just makes it so much better.
Well, I wasn't the only one that was rather emotional watching Nicole, and understandably so. Mum Margaret explains just how she felt watching her daughter.
Oh, I'm just so proud of her, Jo. She's done amazing. She's worked so hard and put everything into it, you know, and yeah, we're just absolutely delighted, over the moon.
Your little girl from a little island in the middle of an Irish sea is standing on a world-class, you know, floor and beam and bars. I mean, she's just amazing.
Yeah, and she looks so calm and as if she was enjoying it, you know. Obviously from the outside it didn't look as if she had any nerves, there must have been inside, but yeah, just so proud, amazed at how she's dealt with the whole thing.
Where did she get the calm nerves from?
Not from me.
And yesterday there was a bit of a wobble, wasn't there, with her toe?
Yeah, last night she casually rang and said, oh, by the way, I've just got back from x-ray, thought I might have broken my toe, but it's, you know, hopefully okay. I can't walk on it tonight, but hopefully tomorrow it'll be okay.
And now the long wait to find out if she gets into the final, of course. And Jake, being her brother, you're seeing things from a slightly different perspective, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. I'm just absolutely over the moon for her, extremely proud. And I don't get to come to many competitions, but I'm glad I get to come to the biggest one she's going to do and see how she goes.
You're actually based in Australia at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been travelling around, so I made a big journey down, come about 2,000 kilometres to come and see her. So worth every kilometre to come and see her, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
And the Manx flags are popping up here, there and everywhere. That was Nicole Burns' family, mother Margaret and brother Jake. We're just going to go for a quick break now, but just to tell you, you can keep up to date with all the latest online as well as on air with the Manx Radio portal, as well as Facebook and on Twitter. And you've got 3 minutes to check that out because, as I say, we're going to a commercial break.
Coverage of the 2018 Commonwealth Games. Brought to you by Manx Radio and Manx Telecom.
And welcome back. Approaching 24 minutes past 8 in the Isle of Man, 24 minutes past 5 here on Australia's Gold Coast. The place has been buzzing, and I caught up with ABC Gold Coast radio producer Karen Adam to find out how the mood was in Australia.
Well, Chris, I've got to say the Gold Coast has been speaking about the Commonwealth Games since we won the bid, which was like 7 years ago, but it's really ramped up over the past 2 years and become intense over the past 8 months, I'd say. So from a local point of view, there are sort of two things going on. One, it is so exciting to meet people like you from the Isle of Man, where I've never been, and find out more about the Isle of Man. Now I know the capital is Douglas. It's like travelling, but everyone's come to your city.
And you'll know with things such as Olympic Games, World Cups in football, and indeed in Commonwealth Games, every couple of years when it gets towards the event itself, there are question marks and concerns over preparations in the host nation, in the host city. Everything looks to be running like clockwork. Do you think the Gold Coast was suitably prepared for this event?
Look, I think the organisers have put in a lot of effort to make sure it is ready. Locally, the things that have been of the most concern are traffic, getting around the Gold Coast, because it's sort of like a long, thin city. So our population here is almost 600,000 people normally. We're expecting about that amount again to come into the city during the Games. So I think that's the nervous part, just getting around. And secondly, I guess, bigger picture legacy stuff, what are locals going to get out of putting on this $2 billion event?
Well, great to hear an Australian accent to prove that we are actually here. We're not just presenting from a cupboard under the stairs in Manx Radio. Well, Australia has certainly made its mark on me and Joe. Let's find out from Joe how the Isle of Man is making its mark on Australia.
Well, you've just exactly said what needs to be said there, because you know what? Yesterday, Jenny Newbury was out competing in the triathlon and she has a new fan.
Hello, my name's Lisa and I'm an educator at a place called Labrador, which is a local early childhood centre.
Lisa, you know Jenny, don't you? Jenny, why do you know each other?
Because she's the Airbnb host for my boyfriend and my friend that are staying with her in Australia.
And suddenly you've got a new fan club in Australia. Lisa, tell me about that.
She does. 2 and 3 year olds and actually some of our other children have adopted Jenny as their superstar. They don't care if she won something today because she's already a winner for us because of her can-do. When we get an ouchie and we fall off our bike, we have a go. And then they all made emojis. That's the modern technological age now that 2 and 3 year olds want to make emojis for Jenny. They're following her. Their parents are following her. The Isle of what? They don't know where it is. She's the sole woman here by herself in triathlon. And that's what they love. That's her story. That's what it's about for us.
So already she's become a role model.
She's a huge role model for us and she's so humble and lovely. Michael, her mum, they are inspiring and so is Jenny. And to watch her today, we couldn't have been prouder.
So everyone was out in full support?
Absolutely. And so when we go back now, we'll have a report in about what happened and they're dying to ask her questions like, did you see a turtle in the water? Have you got an ouchie? Why have you got numbers on your legs? She's got her swimmers on. So they're really interested to know about Jenny and what she's doing. So the Commonwealth Games is alive for our little children now.
Certainly is. Now they've all finished and are staying with you. So do you expect good behaviour or are they allowed to go and party?
Oh, they can party hardy now. Come on, we're Australians and they deserve it. This has been a big ride. So to Jenny, go Jenny, she's awesome.
What a great interview there with one of the fans here in Australia of triathlete Jenny Newbury. Jenny did put on an outstanding performance yesterday and we now have some video footage exclusively for Manx Radio online. So make sure that you go to Manx Radio's Facebook page and also to Manx Radio's portal. Do keep up to date with all the goings on here out in Australia on all social media. We are also on Twitter too. Back to you, Chris.
Yes, thanks very much, Joe. Well, we've got the swimming semi-final for Guy Davis. I suppose the headline here is no more Mr. Nice Guy. He's in action later on from about 11:30 Manx time. The other headline, I suppose, would be Burns, Baby Burns, but I'll leave you with those headlines. I'm getting some funny looks from Joe Pack for those headlines there, but Nicole Burns done fantastically well in the gymnastics. So Guy Davis and Nicole Burns, the stars of the show for the Isle of Man today. Charlotte Atkinson could still win a medal. She's in final action in the women's 100-metre butterfly later. And as we say, if you keep up to date with Manx Radio on our social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on Manx Radio's portal, then you'll get exclusive content and you'll find out pretty much as it happens how Charlotte Atkinson does. And Guy Davis obviously in the men's 100-metre breaststroke semi-final this evening as well. We've had the PB for Matthew Draper in the 4,000-metre indoor sprint preliminary round. There's more cycling taking place this evening. We'll bring you that action tomorrow with a roundup from today at the Games. Once again, after the 8 o'clock news where you are from the Isle of Man. But now it's approaching 1/2 the hour and it's time to hand over back to you in the Isle of Man with Howard Kane on the news desk with the headlines.